How you doing? So, happy Switch 2 day. I've just got back from my local game store with some goodies. Well, technically this one didn't come from the game store. This one came directly from Nintendo. But I thought we might as well just unbox all of these together before we get to have a good time with it today. I've taken a day off work to do this video as well as just enjoy my Switch 2. So how about we unbox this one last? So I'm just going to move this to the side. I know that's one everyone's waiting for, but we'll do that later. I just realized I had that back to front. That is actually the front of it there. I've got the Mario Kart World Edition. I'm not too overly concerned about physical and non-physical, and obviously with the price increases, much cheaper to just get the pack if you're planning to get it anyway. And my boy, he loves a bit of Mario Kart. Kind of the reason we got this one. So how about we start with the GameCube controller, eh? All right, so let's have a look at that. And I thought I might do a quick comparison with how it feels based on this guy. So just let me unwind the cable and have a look there. So I've got an OG GameCube controller. This is a transparent and purple version. I don't have the full purple. I've only got a bunch of different colors. So this is the closest one I have. You can see it's got a bit of dust in it because it's been sitting in a drawer for the past, I don't know, a long time. It's been a long time since I've actually used the GameCube controller. I used to use it to play Smash Brothers. That's about it. So I thought we can do a side-by-side comparison after I unbox it. So yeah, so I thought this would be nice with GameCube coming to Nintendo Switch Online as well as just in general. It's nice to have a proper wireless GameCube controller. I know there are certain companies that have created replica ones, but I thought I'll get the one from Nintendo. It's a bit pricey, but why not do a little bit of a splurge, eh? So, so it comes in its Nintendo box, and it's got a plastic thingy on the front. So we'll put that one to the side, put it over there, and there it is. So can I just take it out from here? Probably. Alrighty. So here it is. We'll have a look what else is in there. I'm presuming probably just a cable, maybe like a dongle or something. Actually, it wouldn't be long, just a Bluetooth. What am I talking about? Is there even a cable? Yes. So you do get a cable in the box. There's the cable. And that looks like it's basically it, because it will just connect by Bluetooth. Although it doesn't come with a dongle. It's just Bluetooth because it connects to the Switch, and the Switch only does Bluetooth. Well, I guess there's probably some Bluetooth wireless controllers that do 2.4, but either way, here it is. So feels pretty similar. The thing is, it's hard to tell because it's like this feels a bit smoother, but that could also just be because it's been used a lot. So there's a little bit of a, like even the plastic feels a little bit smoother than this one, but that could all just be down to use. It's kind of worn away a little bit, but you know, it still has the same analog triggers that are kind of smooth and then they lock out, and then got a big click to kind of finish them off. So that, I think this is a micro switch. I could be wrong. This feels, I'm not sure if this is a micro switch or if this is a pad. It's definitely quieter. You can't really hear it. It's very quiet. Compared to this guy, it's very clicky. So I think that might be now a micro switch, which is fine. These are still pads. These feel the buttons feel very similar. The rest of it feels pretty much the same. Obviously you got a Z Australian bro, ZL button right here. Obviously, so you can use this for any game, because obviously the GameCube only had a Z. It had nothing on this side. So you've now got Z, or this will probably be ZR in normal games. You've got your capture button, you've got your home, you've got your screenshot button, you've got your home button, you've got your pairing button, and you've got the what was it, the chat button. I don't know if I'll ever really use that. I think most of my mates, if we're going to be playing something like this online, we'll just go jump on Discord. But all right, Nintendo, we'll see how that goes. It's a bit poopy that you've put that behind the paywall, but I get it. Servers require money to run. But no, this looks great. Like, it's fairly close to the original. It feels, if I didn't have the one right next to it, I would say this. Besides that this Z button, everything else feels pretty replicate of the original. So that's great. All right, so how we put that to the side. I'll get rid of this one. And I was going to unbox this next, but I thought, because the Joy-Cons have to go on this, let's unbox the main system first. And then I'll see how well this falls in. So I'll put this to the side. I'll get out the main system. Oh, so here he is. And actually, this feels quite small. The box, I mean. Considering it's a bigger system, because right here, if you have a look at this is the OLED Zelda edition. And if I try and, let's move this to the side, if I try and put this guy next to it, the box is, well, I guess it's not that much bigger. So this is a little bit taller. But yeah, I just thought when I picked it up, I was like, considering it's a bigger system, it's just interesting that the box feels smaller. And I have a feeling, I don't have my original Switch box, but I'm pretty sure the OG Switch box was even bigger than this. So I feel like every generation, they're trying to make it smaller and smaller and smaller, which is not a problem. That's fine. But it was just an interesting little note. I was like, oh, the guy brought it out of the back store that I pre-ordered it at, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit smaller than I was expecting. It's heavy though. It feels quite dense. So let's undo it. So that's what we get in it. So we're gonna get the tablet, the Joy-Cons. I have no idea what that is. Just a little minus thing. 4 is just a little minus. What does it say here? Oh, that's the AC adapter. Okay, sure. Whatever you say, Nintendo, that's totally a picture of an AC adapter, if you say so. A USB cable, the dock itself, a grip. We still have Joy-Con rails or whatever they're using now, because it's not a rail anymore. It's obviously magnets, so Joy-Con magnets, I guess. What do they call them? What is it? Number 8. Joy-Con straps. All right, fine. Ultra high speed HDMI cable. Wow. Better if you just put, I don't know, HDMI 2.1 or whatever the standard is. Because freaking high speed, ultra mega fast HDMI doesn't really tell us bollocks. And then a download code for the for Mario Kart World. Now, hopefully they haven't put that at the very top of the box. I'll put it over here so I don't hit my camera. And there she is. Ooh, looking snazzy. So how about we pull out, let's have a look. How about, I'm just going to move this over here because the box keeps, box please. All right, let me just quickly do something. There we go, much better. All right, here are the Joy-Cons. And actually, I should have grabbed, do I have any Joy-Cons here? I do. I have my OG Switch here. Oh, one of my OG Switch. I've got my OLED Switch. This is, obviously I've custom these Joy-Cons. But yeah, so how about I pull these Joy-Cons off so we have a direct comparison. And I'll put that to the side so we can directly compare it with the OLED. Maybe I'll power it up quickly. Hello? Might be dead. Oh no, there we go. Okay, cool. So while that's powering up, there you go. Let's compare it. So here's, how about I just take out both? How about I stop hitting my mic? Alrighty. So here we go. We've got, it is quite a bit bigger. So here is the new Switch 2 Joy-Con, and here is a reshelled but original size Joy-Con. And if you have a look, they are quite a bit larger, which for me with big man hands, much nice. And the buttons themselves are quite a bit larger as well. They feel quite good. Ooh, it's a different stick. It feels like as well. It's less I don't know how to explain it. It's less directional. So these things, you can, when you spin them, you can kind of feel it clicking between the different, what is it, the 8 directions or 9 directions, whatever it is. My brain's not working. So when you go like up and then you go into like the diagonals and the sides, you can kind of feel it moving. While this feels more like a normal kind of analog stick where it's very smooth. I quite like this. It clicks down. Fantastic. They feel good. They feel premium. There's your, rather than this shonky thing, which was awful. I don't know what Nintendo, I don't know if any of you guys had this problem, but if you haven't, look in here, there's this little nubby bit that kind of locks it into the Switch. I don't know if they've revised it in future editions, but gosh, these things cracked and snapped like no one's business. then the Joy-Con wouldn't stay. I know I had a couple of Joy-Cons. I actually replaced this with a metal locking mechanism because they crack so often. So I'm happy they've kind of done away with that. We'll see how well the magnets hold up, but they should. There's no reason they should have any problems, but yeah, so you have that because the magnets, see, the magnets are in here or the metal's in here. I can't remember if the magnets are in here or they're in the switch. I think they might be in the main switch, and these metals are just used to connect to the system. But fantastic. They're a bit bigger, which is really nice, and it'll be great when because I've got the D brand kill switch case on order. So those with these would be really nice. These sticks feel so much better than the original. My goodness, they're nice and large. Like, look at the size difference in the switch actual sticks, and this. Not particularly a fan of. Again, either I'm hoping I'll be able to get a new case that I can switch out. We'll have switch out. That will have a D-pad directly integrated into the system. Because that's just much nicer if you're platforming or doing anything like that requires more of a D-pad input. This is infinitely better. Or I know, do I have my other? Yes, I have my other Joy-Cons here as well. Oh. Or I've done this to my Zelda ones because I didn't want to modify them. It's just got like a little, this like sits on the buttons and kind of gives it like a D-pad feel. It's not as good because obviously you can push down everything at once. There's no pivot point. But it's still, I find it's nicer to play a game if you're using a D-pad with at least this, because it feels like, it's easier to roll. So anyway, I'll put my OG Joy-Cons to the side. But no, fantastic. I really like these Joy-Cons. They feel premium, and they're so much bigger. They're so much bigger. My hands aren't going to cramp. At least not as much. As I said, I've got a kill switch on order, so that should be coming in. So here we go. Here is the tablet, and she feels pretty big and pretty nice. All right, so put her over there. So here, let's do a quick comparison. So it's upside down. It's upside down, Miss Pat. So here is my my OLED switch, and here is a size comparison with the Switch 2, and she is definitely a lot bigger. Definitely a lot bigger. So you've got that. Let's do a quick tour. So you've got the front panel there. We'll have a look at how that screen looks. It looks like fantastic. They haven't done the air bubble thing. So before, on the OG Switch, they had the LCD underneath the digitizer. The digitizer and the screen were actually separate. For repairability, that's pretty nice because it's quite cheap just to buy a digitizer if for whatever reason your digitizer breaks. And obviously the digitizer ends up working as a protection for the actual LCD screen. So from a toy perspective, or the perspective that you might break the screen, I could understand why they might do it, but it looks terrible because you've got that air gap in between. Also means if you try and replace one of them yourself, you get a bit of dust in there, it's going to drive you insane. So it looks like they've gone with a LCD and digitizer connected approach, which is great. So we've got our bottom Type-C port there. We've got a top Type-C port, which is just great to see because I know depending on how you're playing, especially in handheld, you might want the charger coming on the top and the bottom if you're lying in a bed, for example. Having the charger coming off the top so you can rest the device on your chest or something like that, or if you're on a couch, is great. You've got your power, volume up and down. You've got your game cart slot. And I want to check because the other day I was trying to open up this, and without nails, it's not easy. I got it, but I was struggling to open that up the other day. So I want to see if I because they put it back down here, and it's so much better. You can easily get a fingernail in there, and it looks like it just slides up, and there's your gamepad slot. And they even gamepad slot feels a bit more premium. All right, much better. All right, you've got your rails. They've put a little plus sign to go, hey, this is where you put your plus, idiot. But actually, can you? I'll have to check if you can put them in the wrong way. So you got your plus there. It's got a little bit of Nintendo branding. Another plus there. You got the blue. I'm not sure how I feel about them putting the blue in here. I guess it's just like a bit of fun, but I don't know. Because I'm the kind of person who I like to modify my Switch and make it look different. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's all right. I'm guessing once it's all connected, you can't see it anyway. And here's the back. So there's the Switch 2, and then kickstand. Ooh. The kickstand is very stiff and satisfying. You hear that? Ooh. That kickstand feels good. How does it compare with the OLED? Because I know everyone knows the OG Switch. Awful kickstand. My goodness. Similar. Not as satisfying snap when it comes back together, but definitely has a similar level of stiffness. Not that I played that much in what's the word? My brain's not working. Desktop mode, tabletop mode, whatever they call it. Anyway, so let's put it over here. Maybe. Why is my mouse up there? Go away, mouse. Okay, well, we put that over there somewhere, I guess. Should be all right. And let's see what else is in here. So, I don't know if you could see that, but I'll just put my hand over this, even though technically I'm going to claim this before anyone else can, before this video goes live anyway. So, but that's my Mario Kart Tour code, so I can download that from Nintendo's eShop, which I don't know if they're using the same eShop with the Switch, but oh my gosh, that eShop is painful to use. So we've got our super duper ultra fast mega 4K ultimate HDMI cable. Cool beans. It's not that long. Wish it was longer. What else we got in here? We've got our Joy-Con grips. And, oh, that's right. These also allow you to use mouse mode. Let's have a looky. So, all right. So I'm guessing they just go on like, oh, no, like that. And there's magnets on these as well. Oh, so maybe the magnets are on the, or maybe there's one on each. Anyway, so they go on like that. And then that's, you can use it in mouse mode or use it in clicky mode. They're all right. They definitely feel a bit nicer than the, oh my gosh, the original Joy-Con grips were horrible. Those, I know people would put them on the wrong way all the time. So, yeah, so it's this way, I think. No, it should be that way. Am I? Ah, I see. So there's actually a little nubby thing. I didn't realize this. There's a little nub there, and there's a little hole there. So you've got to put the nub in first, and then it clicks in. Oh, that's actually what holds it in. Oh, it's actually not done by magnets. I was like, oh, is it doing a magnet? But no, it's just a little plastic mechanism. If you can have a look in there, there's a little plastic mechanism that when the button's pushed, it pushes it up. Okay, cool. We'll see how well they hold up. I'm never a big fan of little plastic nubs, especially considering, like, it's not a kid's toy, but kids are going to be playing with this kind of stuff. So I'm never a fan of when you have that stuff like that, because the kid's just going to go, you know, you're going to attach it and the kid's like, Aah! Oh, it came off pretty easily, so maybe that's not too bad, actually. Yeah, it comes off pretty easily, so maybe it's got enough leeway that it just kind of pops out. But we'll see how well that holds up. Obviously, pushing it is infinitely better for it. But great, we'll just leave those on for now and put that over there. So you've got your Joy-Con doodly dads. You've got your manual that I'm sure everyone loves to read. Let's take this plastic bit out, and now we've got the grip. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. Ooh, this is definitely a lot nicer than the original grip. I can already say that from nothing. Just because of the fact you can just slot it in the side. All right, should we try it? All right, so we're going to press the button, take off these guys, and then we put it, I'm guessing it's the same, right? No, there's no nubble. There's no nummy bits, so we just, oh, that's it. So there are magnets in this. Oh no, there's probably magnets in here, I'm an idiot. So we just do that, and in we go. And it feels comfortable for the most part, but this is a little bit sharp. I can already feel it. Like, it's not painful sharp, but it does just, It'd be nice if this was just rounded a little bit more. Like, I don't know why it has to be this flat. Just round it down. Like, if you sand, I'm not going to sand it, but if you say, like, sanded that off, so instead of it being, because, yeah, because, like, even if this was a little bit more curved, it's not going to affect your hold, but it's just a little bit sharp. That's a bit disappointing. It works fine. You know, you can use it, but it's just, you can feel it. You can feel this little sharp ridge. Again, it's not sharp in terms of it's painful, but it's just an edge. It's a bit disappointing. It's functional. I'm happy we have it, but yeah, if that was just a little bit more curved. Basically, if you had the same kind of curve coming up here, well, this, like, instead of ending it there, just curve it around and just make it a nice curve. So when your hands touch it, it just kind of curves around your hand rather than you feel like you're on, like, the edge of something. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but it still works. Like, it is what it is. Here's our power brick. Oh my goodness, I didn't know they did this. Oh, it's a power brick, and you can change the Type-C port. Oh, that's nice. What's the output on this thing? Anyway, let's have a looky. It can do up to 60 watts. So it goes from 15, 27, 45, and 60 watts, which is a lot more, because I think the OG switch would only go up to about 15. So that's a lot more. I'm guessing that's when it's in, when you've docked it and it's trying to do 4K, it just kind of goes, let's suck up all the power there, bro. But that's nice. I'm happy they've done this. It means that if something goes wrong and you accidentally, you know, something happens, because I don't know how, I've never done it, but I've seen so many people snap the Type-C port off the cable. And if that happens, then you don't have to replace your whole power brick. You can just replace the cable, and they're cheap as chips. You know, you just make sure you got one that's rated, and most of them can do 65 watt. We're not talking about 180 watt or a crazy amount here. But you just get one that's suited for 65 watt, and you can just replace it. Or if you want something longer, imagine that! If you want to run the power a little bit longer than whatever this is, like 2 meters or something. Fantastic. Love it, Nintendo. More of this. Great. And then last but not least, we have the Duke. There she is, the Switch 2 dock. Let's see, how does this come off? Oh, it just pulls off the back. Looks very reminiscent of the OG dock, except look at that, we got LAN port on the original rather than either you had to get an adapter or you had to get the OLED Switch. I think had a LAN port on it. I wonder how easy this would be to mod, because I think the first thing I did with my OG Switch after I bought it, I think within 2 months, I switched out all the innards into a little tiny mini dock. But we'll see how this one goes. Though again, the D-brand Kill Switch 2 case comes with like a dock attachment that will kind of display the Switch, which is nice. I don't understand why Nintendo is insistent on having this dock cover the screen. Like, I don't know, the Switch is like a nice looking piece of kit. Why don't you want to display it? Cool. So that's everything in the box. So how about I get rid of the box, and then we continue to have a look, and maybe I boot this thing up quickly. If it's got power, I guess. Alrighty. So we've got everything here. We've got our chargers in there. I'm not going to bother getting it back out. No one really cares about that. Realistically, it's just the charger. So how about I take these guys off first, and let's slot them in here. So we just go, ooh, snap, and ooh, and they're pretty in there. I heard you can pull them. Oh, there you go. You can get them off by yanking them. Probably not recommended. Can I put them on the wrong way? You can. But that'd be pretty stupid. Like, you can't really get them on the wrong way. And there we go. She does feel big, but she's not. I agree, she's not too heavy. Those feel nice. Is that how the originals felt? No, they were way more like clacky or clicky. I just noticed that. These L3 and R3. Ooh. They're a nice like fuck. Like a nice A nice deep click. Oh, feels quality. Micro switches, micro switches. Alrighty, shall we boot her? Let's see if she has power. She has power. We're going to get like a click sound. Speakers sound alright. Similar to the OLED. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm just going to put this to the side. Let's pull out the original Switch. I'll put my Zelda ones on. So that's the comparison there. So the screen is a bit larger. Not insanely so. It's a fair bit larger. I guess we'll see how it is in games, but that's the there's a size comparison. Let's get it a bit. There we go. That's kind of in the middle. So I've got all my bollocks in front of me, so it's kind of actually hard for me to see it exactly. But the speakers sound good. They got a bit low in them. They definitely sound better than the OG Switch. It's been a while since I've played the OLED, but it sounds better than the OLED as well. And that was one of the big, I think one of the big improvements with the OLED was the speakers sound a lot better. But I like them. Cool, so that's a comparison. We'll put that to the side. Australia. Alright. Well, I don't think I'm going to do the full setup. Oh, actually, before I do, so that's the Switch. I forgot. Bonus round. Where did I put them? Where did I put them? Yeah. I'll quickly unbox these. So, actually, before I do that, let's turn her back on. And let's see how she looks in the dock. So I'll put the dock up. Turn it off. So that's how she looks. And again, I just don't understand why Nintendo does this. Why hide that beautiful screen? Why hide it? Why stick it in a dock like that? Why not put it loud and proud on display? Or why not make this thing removable or something like that? So if you want to have the dock on the front, you can, or you move the faceplate. Because I don't get it. Like, I remember the OG, again, with the OG Switch, right? Because they wanted to have this faceplate, the screens were scratching on the dock screen, on the dock plate. Especially if they want to put a case or anything at all that increased the thickness, they would get these little streaks going up and down the plastic display or the plastic screen. So it'd be nice, Nintendo, just either give us the option or we don't need a faceplate. It's fine. Like, if you just have this thing, you know, sitting loud and proud, it looks great. I like displaying my stuff. Anyway, we put that to the side, and let's grab this. So I grabbed this. 100%. It's overpriced bollocks. I'm sure I could find something a quarter of the price on AliExpress. It probably works just as good. But my little boy, he loves Mario Kart. He loves it. So I thought we'll get him a steering wheel. You know, he's only 3, so he's not great with sticks and all that kind of stuff yet, but he loves cars, he loves steering wheels, so... And one's red, and he loves red. So let's have a quick look and see how they feel. I'm sure they just feel like a wheel. How about we do the red one? I'm sure no one wants to see both. It's a pretty basic thing. There we go. And then let's grab out this. And let's see how easily it goes in, eh? Just slots in, I guess. There we go. And I can feel, that's kind of nice. These like triggers are quite nice. That's a nice addition. Because I think either a lot of them don't have that, or they don't, all the triggers are really terrible. So that feels pretty good. Like, honestly, if you were going to play something 2-player, and you needed to use singular Joy-Cons, just using these as just little grips feel fine. Just as like simple little gaming grips. They just have a wheel around it. So you can use it in a wheel mode, or if I was playing, I don't know, let's just say it takes two. I don't know. Any kind of game which you use split Joy-Cons to play two-player. These little sticks, these little wheels feel great, just as like a grip. So fantastic. So okay, I guess I can use them either for Mario Kart when you do steering, or if you're playing a game where you need extra controllers. Brilliant. I like them. Basic, and they come out really easily. So it doesn't look like they're magnetized in these ones. These ones, can they just fall out then? Cool. Maybe there are little magnets in there, but just not very strong ones. Because like, if I'm shaking it, it's not coming out. If I hit it, so if I do like that, it'll come out. That's reasonably secure in there. And you can see the LEDs shine through. Cool. I'm actually reasonably happy. I didn't think I'll be upset, but I'm more impressed with them than what I was expecting. I was expecting just some kind of, not great controller, but it's made of decent plastics. It's got a nice nice feel around the outside, and with these as like little triggers, it makes it feel way better. I want to quickly check the other one because obviously the joystick and the buttons are in a slightly different position. So maybe I will quickly check out the blue one as well and just see how that one feels. So the red feels great. Let's check the blue. Yeah, similar. It's just that your this thumb is having to come a little bit further over. Well, obviously it's the opposite way around, but at least for my hands, these actually make these really comfortable. So if you're a little person, I mean a kid. If you're a kid using it, I think this probably feels great. But as an adult, this is a little bit. I'm also okay. One other thing, I don't know if you need to use. You probably usually don't need to use these in most games where you're on this kind of mode, so it's probably not an issue. Obviously, those are not accessible. There's no hole for those, but usually you don't need them. Can you pair from here? No, you can't. So you have to pair it ahead of time, which is fine. Usually they're already paired anyway. But no, again, feels good. So I'm actually really happy with these. They were like $30, so they're expensive for what they are. But, to have 2 additional little grips for your Joy-Cons, if you did need to play something that, if you're playing, I don't know what kind of game, like a beat 'em up would be great. If you're going to play, I don't know, Shredder's Revenge or something like that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and you didn't have a second Pro controller, say like, hey, I'll just split the Joy-Cons, we can play together. These actually work great. Always they feel great. I'll have to try them out in an actual game. So yeah, so that's it. I think I'll go ahead and set it up now, and I'm going to enjoy my day off where I'm just going to be playing my Switch all day. And I'm also excited, not just for Mario Kart, but I'm really curious about just loading up random games and seeing how they run. So this Switch, for example, I've actually modded this. I've taken and actually I've installed a mod chip on this to overclock it, because some of the games, like freaking Pokemon Violet, that game was unplayable. People go, it's fine. No, Pokemon Company, it's not fine. You have the most money in the whole world. You have all the money. Do better. Like, come on. People excusing that game, saying that performance was acceptable, is unacceptable, in my opinion. So I ended up modding this so I could overclock it. And when you overclock it at least in handheld mode, it was then playable. It wasn't great. The game itself is not great. But when you overclock it, at least you get reasonable performance. You are most of the time hitting 30 in towns, and certain areas where it will become very choppy. So yes, I am very curious about playing some older Switch titles, which didn't run great on this. Even like, I'm one of those people who I thought Tears of the Kingdom was overrated bollocks. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to give Tears of the Kingdom another go. maybe playing it on this, and I haven't played a Zelda game in quite a while. To be fair, I have finished Breath of the Wild 3 times. I have found every Korok seed. So it might have been I had just been too burnt out on that kind of game. But it's been a few years now since Tears of the Kingdom came out, so I'm going to give it another go, and we'll see if it's more enjoyable on this. So either way, thank you very much for watching if you did, and I will catch you next time.